Hey everyone, it's me T coming at you with basically a podcast type of video. We're just gonna keep it, a black and white and lovely. What was I gonna say? I'm just gonna keep it all black and white and lovely. I love it. Alright, so yeah, we're just gonna have you kind of just listen to me if that's cool for tonight. Just because that was the only way that I was really going to do it if I was going to come on. And I kind of like decided, I was like last minute, I was like, let's just do this. Especially since I feel like I'm going through my own little adjustments today energetically. So I thank you for just tuning in and listening, and also feel free to, close your eyes actually as you are tuning in, okay? Because you're actually not just listening to my voice, you're listening to my heart. So that would be a better thing to do. So today we're tossing some cards when it comes to the first area we're doing is let me just actually see something, guys. Where's my phone? My phone! Oh, here it is. Okay. Give me 1 second, because I'm curious to know about something. Hope you guys had a great day today. I know mine was very eventful and very moving at the same time in terms of energy. Okay, so yeah, so I appreciate you guys just bearing with me. All right, so basically, I'm getting it together. So A-Team, I'm asking for the highest and best two yin and yang cards for today in terms of the divine masculine energies having to do with the family aspect of our lives, as well as today's native and authentic and natural energies, as well as the universes. So thank you for placing them at the top of this deck. Do I stop shuffling the cards right here right now? I felt like I went too far. Sometimes I do this fast. Do I stop shuffling the cards right here right now? Yeah, okay. Alright. So for today, I'm actually going to give me a second, guys. I'm going to pull 4 cards, if not 6 cards, because sometimes it's the bottom of the deck aspect, but woohoo, hold on. Alright, is this card for my highest and best good to accept today? Is this the highest and best yin card? Is this the highest and best yang card? Okay. So, alright. Alright, I just need the highest and best yin card when it comes to the divine feminine energies. Whoop! Is that the highest and best yin card? Nice! Wow, these were popping out. Holy shit. Okay. Are we discussing bottom of the deck here at all? Alright, so no to this. Are we discussing the bottom of the deck on this deck? Okay, so no. Alright, so basically, sorry for the shaking, but we're on my bed. So for, very interesting, okay. So for the aspect of, the soul family, which is, soul family to me are more like friends, okay? So, so this is kind of like your divine friend area of your life that you've created in your world. Like the genuine friends, because genuine friends are actually truly, like, they give off the feeling of family. Um, Family to me are like your helpful people in travel, which is kind of like your, that, like, family to me are more friends, okay? Because you can never, it's like you're too close or comfortable with one another to literally go deep, right? Like, so, and I just feel like that's just me personally speaking. I don't, and I feel like that's also because it's like more of um a traditional way of living. You know what I'm saying? If you've grown up old school, you know that your parents are not your friends, they're your parents. Okay? So that's all I wanted to say with that. So that's why I find them a part of my helpful people in travel rather than soul fam, okay? Or rather than family, right? Because sometimes there's not that essence where you can be as comfortable with them. And sometimes your divine friendships that you create on your own end up being that warmth that you really kind of are like really help you survive, right? Especially when you're older, okay? So when it comes down to it, when it comes down to it, your soul family, I'm basically pulling yin and yang cards for the soul family area of our lives, which is the ancestors, which is the angels, which is the soul fam, soul tribe, right? Um Also, I'm pulling yin yang divine masculine cards and divine feminine cards. Okay, so there's 4 cards we're going to be kind of discussing, and I feel as though we're not gonna I'm gonna let you know what came out, but I'm gonna actually kind of more so tell you a story about these cards. I'm not gonna go into like the details of it. Like, I'm going to give you a generalization type. I mean, it is a generalization type of reading, right? But like, I'm going to give you kind of like an overall reading. So so in the divine masculine on the yin level is the Emperor. It's the number 4 card. It's Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael has been around so much today. That's all I have to say. The card stands for organization and logic, structure and discipline, leadership, okay? So that's your yin card for the divine masculine. The divine masculine's yang card is the number 13, which is release, Archangel Azrael. The end of a phase or situation, spiritual transformation, time to move on. And then for your divine feminine card, you got don't stop, which is divine feminine yin card, which is don't stop. So that would be more on a personal interior level, okay? And the divine feminine on a yang aspect is yes, okay? And that's using the divine feminine cards or the angel answer oracle deck is what's being represented, or what's being used rather, as the divine feminine card deck today. And then the angel, the angel tarot cards by Doreen Virtue are being used as the divine masculine today. Okay, so very interestingly enough, I just feel as though with the number 4 to me is very foundational work. It's about your virtues, values, vows, and vibes, okay? So I feel as though, okay, and Archangel Michael has been really, like, present today on a very yin level. So he's been helping you out with this. Or he's been helping all of us out with this. He's really helping us to take on this leadership role of where we are now really starting at 0 for some reason. That's what I was getting, like a fresh brand new slate where we're starting at 0. What did I want to say? We're starting at 0. We're creating this new sense of structure and discipline within ourselves as a kind of foundational groundwork, and more so off of our confidences, okay? So, and I want to say confidences, but also confidant is coming up for some reason. I'm just like shuffling cards, guys, so if you hear that in the background, it's just like helping me to kind of think sometimes. It's like moving energy around. So, um, so yeah, so Archangel Michael has really been giving you this confidence, but also this essence of basically turning to him or turning to the divine, ancestral lineage, your past lives, you know, your angels, to literally just talk to them, whether it be writing in a journal or, you know, do your gratitude blessing writings or just speaking out loud. There's a lot of communication, for instance, coming up with that. Also, you could be noticing that you're wearing a lot of blue today. There was a call for blue to be worn, and that's just literally to support your divine masculine energies, okay? Now, it's very interesting because I feel like, okay, with the divine yang masculine energies, it's the number 13, release Archangel Azrael. It absolutely was an end of a phaser situation that you were praying for. Okay, that's what I want to add there. It's spiritual transformation, which kind of had you feeling all over the fucking place, and not in the usual way where you're like, oh my god, I'm neither here or there. It's more so like where you were being tossed before back and forth, you are no longer being tossed back and forth like amongst like, but I want to be this way, but I want to be that way, but you know, I was taught to be this way. It's like, no, you're finalizing shit where it's like, no, you are no longer, it's kind of like a swords energy. Like in the tarot, it's kind of like you're literally just, and again, Archangel Michael has a sword too, right? So it's kind of like Archangel Michael is supporting you on an interior level to basically just cut out the bullshit out of your life that really no longer serves you. And you're doing this by you're doing this in order to move on. Now, it's very interesting. This release card, you could be going through a lot of kind of like health improvement changes, which may not be so much as like by the looks of it. Like it might not be a health improvement by the looks of it. I just feel like as you're releasing, there is stuff coming up within you. Like you could be getting like more pimples or breakouts or like sores, you know, like interior like sores in your mouth. You know, sometimes it's kind of like when your immune system is a little low, it ends up being kind of like a release in itself. So you might just feel that on a body type level. The 13 is actually very prevalent because it's, thank you, Archangel Uriel. The 13th is very prevalent because, and is that even the word? I feel like that's the word that I want to use, but it's coming out really weird for me, so I don't know if that's actually the word. In terms of how to say it, yeah. The 13 is popping out because actually tomorrow's the 13th, and for some reason I feel like tomorrow's a very big day. I don't know if it's just me personally or with people in general, but it's tomorrow. Like what I feel is like this release is leading into tomorrow, because tomorrow is supposed to be basically the rebalance day, which is your health day. But also like I feel like tomorrow is going to be a really super happy day for some people that are really kind of, and actually I'm looking down at the Divine Feminine Yang card right below it, and it's saying yes, it's the yes card. So it's just super interesting. It's like that's like what's really going on here. Yeah. So, and I really do feel like these energies are like especially the release and the Yes card are definitely moving into your energies for tomorrow, or are basically helping us through to get into tomorrow's energies. The number 13 is lucky, right? Lucky 13. Some people don't like it because if you resonate with me, you'll find it lucky. Okay, we'll just keep it at that. I'm not even going to go into the negative aspect because I just don't give a fuck about the negative aspect, and that's literally very interesting. Is what's going on here in terms of your energy. It's the Emperor energy for sure today, where you're just like using Archangel Michael's sword to cut any and all shit out that is no longer serving you, and you are doing it in such a radical type of transformative way, which again, it's the spiritual transformation that they're talking about. So again, it's and you could be doing this maybe with a confidant. It's like you're doing it in confidence with your confidant. So it's like, I want to say that you're probably doing it. It's either you having to kind of set things straight with a divine romantic partnership, divine romantic spiritual type of partnership, or it's you doing it with yourself and you kind of tuning into, or you communicating it out into the universe as you know, they're confident. Now, what's very interesting is tonight I was getting to basically write. I didn't start writing because sometimes I'm like super lazy with that, but I was thinking that to those that don't like to really even, that kind of like to kind of, what is it called? Suffering alone. Those that kind of think that it's like of integrity to do that, because again, that's an old school thought of just doing shit, like emotionally, like just doing it by yourself. I just wanted to let you know that what I was clearly getting is you have to begin either speaking it out loud, communicating it out loud, whatever you want to, like, you know, through artwork, through writing, but through writing especially, you have to start writing a journal to the divine, because if you're not going to express yourself, and this is going to only help you on a very deep level in terms of improving your health, right, which is tomorrow, but improving your relationship. So it's not only improving your health, it's improving your like the relationship with yourself, with the divine creator who created you, your angels, your soul fam, your, you know, your ancestors, yourself. I don't know if I mentioned that. So, and then obviously it trickles out to your partner, your friends, your family, you know, like the world at you know, it at around you and surrounding you, but also at large. So it's kind of like you need to start doing something for yourself if you are not feeling confident in opening up to your divine spiritual partner just yet, okay? And it has nothing to do with your divine spiritual partner. It's just more so like for you to actually see improvements or you to have a better relationship. It's very important for you to actually begin a journal to do this for yourself, because there's no other way. Like, if you feel still that you're being judged, which actually today's one of the bigger releases that had happened is wherever you felt judged, you really release that, where it's like you are actually no longer judging yourself anymore. That was a huge release that happened today. It can be something as simple as you putting on a bathing suit and something body image wise, or it could be you something as in talking about money. You know what I'm saying? Like where you're just like, here's where I fucking stand from now on, because I'm this entire like process of thinking was so fucking bullshit and never got me anywhere, right? You also could be releasing what you were shameful about or what you were embarrassed about. So things like that came up today that I'm reflecting on, that I feel like, you know, might have come up for you, or will be coming up for you. Like, because again, this is like an energy that's being reflected on for today, but also the week ahead, until we come back to what, next Tuesday, right? So yeah, and this card, this divine feminine card, is like, it says don't stop. And what I feel as though that it was is you are unstoppable in creating this legitimate new structure and new discipline in your mindset, in your leadership, to actually help you organize your thoughts and your mindset better, where your logic was the common sense that was at hand in terms of no longer wanting to feel a certain way that you've been feeling, that you've been made to feel in the past due to certain beliefs. Okay, so that was like super huge. Now tomorrow, the 13th, is really popping up because tomorrow not only is the 13 lucky, but the 13 is the divine goddesses and divine queens and the divine goddess queens. I always like to blend the two. That type of leadership is actually coming up tomorrow. So you could be definitely taking on, in the tarot, there's obviously 4 types of, and again, the Emperor is the number 4, so it's interesting that we're talking about that. There's 4 types of queens or kings that you can embody, right? Which is the swords, the cups, the wands, and the pentacles. Okay, so for tomorrow, I feel like you're absolutely going to be well balanced in those areas of life, but also, and total, wholesome, complete, feeling that way amongst those 4 kind of what are they, like, yeah, I guess they're like, why isn't it coming to me, 18? For I want to say symbols, but it's not symbols. Whatever, we'll stick to symbols for right now. Elements is what I wanted to say. So all 4 of those elements will be rebalanced tomorrow, especially having the 4 here, especially having the 13, I feel. Because you will have and why I mentioned the divine queens is because you'll be having that the divine queens will be helping the divine masculine energy tomorrow, which is the yang energy, naturally or traditionally speaking. And so I just feel as though that's really coming up, and today was just preparing you for that. Okay, preparing you for basically the divine 4 elemental queens being rebalanced in your life tomorrow, but also blessing you with what they need to bless you with. Okay, so yeah, you are definitely having to do a lot of releasing. You could have been explaining yourself a little bit more so than usual, but that's because I feel like you're opening up to then have another open up, have another feel safe to open up alongside you. Okay. But it's really good because it's really having you move on, and it's really having you really just time to move on. That's popping up here is literally, and thank you. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to Archangel Michael and Archangel Azrael for helping us with these transitions, with the Emperor mode in us, the release mode within us, the number 4 within us, the number 13 within us, because we're all made of like all of these things, and so however it needed to come through for everybody, I really just appreciate that, because we needed both of them and their help was so worth it, because we're worth it, so time to move on. It's like, basically, we're just releasing this stuff that had happened. And again, you could also feel a little angry today, like a little emotional, a little angry, little fed up, little just at the end of your rope, right? You're like right at the edge, and there is again, because there is spiritual transformation going on, you're being taken into a different essence of yourself, okay? And what I'm getting is a softer essence of yourself. You just don't realize it, even though sometimes like these harsher energies come up where you have to kind of really deal with them. And, a lot of people don't like them because they're judging them, and they're just like, damn, like they're really being hard on themselves. You could also be in an environment that you're just kind of, either you're caretaking, you're feeling in terms of just like, energies that are not of your own, that are super quiet, because High Priestess came up very interestingly enough. So it's like there could be these super quiet energies. Again, the suffering alone energies that I mentioned before. It's like you're being super quiet about shit, super secretive, and sometimes when you're too super secretive, too quiet about things that really need to kind of come out of, like, kind of come to the top of your emotions and out of your body, you either need to communicate it, or you need to speak it, or you need to write about it, right? So it's just one of the ways to like throw out the garbage. And I literally, today was garbage day and recycling day, so it's like goes to show you that shit needed to be thrown out, you know what I'm saying? Like it needed to be purged. So what was I going to say? So yeah, so I just feel like, and there's really, I don't feel like there's not a lot on the divine feminine side to talk about, except for the fact that yes, they are fully supporting you, and you are unstoppable in your divine feminine energy. And the divine feminine energy is actually your foundation for today, and it is super supporting and raising up and actually holding up the divine masculine, to kind of the divine masculine side of yourself to kind of do its thing. Like I feel like the divine feminine is really holding space, and the divine feminine is really kind of like being understanding and just kind of healing. There's a lot of rainbow activity going on in these cards, but also like it's very interesting. It's like they're cheering you on. They're like, okay, yeah, like again, don't stop because you're unstoppable, and yes, continue to release. And they're really excited about this release. I feel like your A team is super excited about you releasing, because you're becoming a better person through your releasing, and you just don't realize it yet. Like, I don't think you, because again, as you're kind of going through spiritual transformation and feeling all this stuff, you don't feel as if you're doing anything for the better, but then it's like, but you are, and so you only see the result when you kind of feel the sun come out, which could be, listen, I mean, okay, Archangel Uriel popped out for me while I was shuffling, and his card is the number 19, which says, happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success, have confidence in yourself. And again, we were talking about confidence before. So the whole thing is, and that's also the divine, like they say that the sun is like the divine masculine card, even though I don't know if I see it that way, but maybe I do at the same time. Like, yes and no for me, okay? And they say that the moon is more like Luna is like more, La Luna is more divine feminine energies. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense, because of the fact that, the cycles of the moon correlate to the cycles of a divine feminine cycle, right? So it makes sense. However, and the sun is more yang, right? It comes out in the day. It's more like, see me, look at me, like, it's very conquering of sorts, okay? But what I wanted to say there was, by the 19th, we should really feel sunny. And again, actually, very interestingly enough, the number 13 and the number 19 were popping up today, as well as the number 23 and 25. So I don't know if that makes any difference to you guys, but that just means like a lot of positive changes going on. and 27 is kind of just like, did I say 27? 23 is 5. And I forgot what other number I just mentioned. I'm so sorry, but it wasn't 20. It wasn't 27. It was something else. Maybe 17. Shit, it was something with the, or, oh, 25. Did I say 25? 23 and 25. So yeah, so the number 7, 25 adds up to the number 7, which is kind of like electricity, right? It's like kind of quick positive change coming through. So 18, is that all that we have for right now for these 4 cards in terms of the soul family? All right, yeah. So we got to everything. So basically by the 19th, you should be seeing a really good turnaround of events. I'm feeling beforehand, but again, it's something that just to, you know, be patient with the process of it, okay? Because to get to the sun, you kind of have to go through some a little bit sometimes, you know? And the last thing I wanted to say here is that the Emperor, which is the divine masculine, so this could be the divine masculine counterpart out of a relationship. They also might be going through something in terms of releasing, more so than the divine feminine, okay? So the divine feminine, which is like me, I'm like a female, right? Or I don't want to put it in that sense, but I'm just saying because I like to be super open, but I'm just, so I was like thinking about just like everybody in that sense. So it's like if you label yourself with the divine feminine, you've been going through kind of like your divine masculine side has been going through what the divine masculine you know, sex has been going through, which is your emperor aspect of yourself is releasing today. So that means the divine masculine counterpart out of relationship is actually going through more of a release than the divine feminine realizes, okay? But also the divine feminine is being unstoppable in their emperor-like ways in terms of, you know, showing up for themselves and releasing stuff for themselves that is basically giving permission to the divine masculine to be like, yo, just like have the courage, okay? Have the courage because I'm being unstoppable right now in terms of like expressing myself and like trying to kind of communicate shit to you, that it's like, you know, I'm actually transmitting the courage as I'm doing more so of the explaining myself from the inside, so that you can kind of give yourself the green light to release all of what no longer serves you. And the divine feminine is actually acting as a mirror in terms of their divine masculine counterpart. So as they're speaking their truth, as the divine feminine is speaking their truth, because I feel like they've been a little bit more emotionally courageous lately. Not that the divine masculine isn't, it just that the divine masculine has been going through some fucking secretive high priestess shit. With, it's like themselves, you know, they, themselves, and them, okay? And maybe like one other person involved, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 other people involved, and that's it, you know? So they're not really saying a damn thing, and so it's like the divine feminine has a serious high priestess type of skill that she's feeling it for like both people, not just herself, not just the people around her, but also for the divine masculine counterpart. So she's feeling all of it, and she's like literally taking it on as a fucking superhero. But let me just tell you something. The divine feminine today called the shots in terms of using Archangel Michael's sword to say, not today, not ever, I'm not people's heroes, like everybody just needs to back the fuck off. And now I feel as if the divine masculine needs to hear that too, so she had expressed herself to the divine masculine But I also feel that the divine masculine needs to hear that today so that they too can be like, you know what, I'm not everybody's hero. I need to start cutting some, sword cords here as well, or cord swords here as well. And you just need to start saying, you know what, and there was a lot of like saying, no, not anymore. I can't be doing this anymore for people, and it's like people have really been releasing stuff foundationally wise that no longer serves them, that kind of like makes them feel as if they're a hero. Like in the past, maybe they felt like they needed to do some fucking heroic shit in order to kind of like help the people that they love out, but it's really been it's a little too much on people's backs. It's too much as carrying a load or a burden on them. And it just takes one person to be like, no, fuck this shit, we're not doing it anymore. And that's basically what's going on today, is like you're just realizing, or the divine feminine more so than anything, is sharing that love with others around her, to be like, I'm not a hero. I am my own hero. That's all the hero that I can be, because she's realizing that with this high priestess energy, the energy is too much to be feeling into when it comes to everybody else's energy. It's too much to take on. So now simplification needs to be done, and therefore the Archangel Michael's sword, he comes in, and I'm just going to put in this prayer right now. Archangel Michael, thank you so much for literally cutting out all the fucking bullshit and helping us simplify our lives, so that we can be like a lot more happier and a lot more heroic towards and for ourselves, rather than thinking that we have to really cover everybody's asses and our own, like it's like overcomplicated bullshit. It's like at this point we're just really having to simplify and call it a day and just be happy with that. All right. And that's basically what it is. And then from there, it'll grow to whatever it needs to be. But you really have to, in order to start somewhere, you got to start out simple. Okay. I also feel like there's a lot of baggage being released, like in terms of either being talked about or just like more so like realizing that baggage is actually not such a big deal. Like I feel like the quicker you talk about your baggage, if you're choosing to be in a divine relationship, the quicker like the sun card can pop the fuck out of your relationship, where it's like, okay, all cards tarot cards are out on the table, right? And so you can't hide anything anymore, because both people are very intuitive. So it's like, please just do each other a favor and just fucking put everything out on the table, because it's literally more debilitating than it is heroic to keep your shit intact, to make it seem as if there's nothing wrong with you, because the spiritual truth of the matter is that in order to have spiritual transformation, you have to realize that you too are not, everybody in this world is not perfect. They have a lot of spiritual and emotional baggage. And in order to create new structure and discipline, towards a new relationship or new leadership relationship, you need to literally just fucking say, here's my fucking baggage. All right. Just like, and so that you can breathe better, that you can feel better, that you can, give yourself the breathing space, the releasing space. Okay. So, and it's a healing of sorts that you'd be gifting yourself, rather than holding on to the bullshit that doesn't, thank you, 18, that doesn't, that no longer serves you. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, it's basically like, do yourself a favor and just release it. Like, discuss your baggages, discuss your issues. You know what I'm saying? Because that is like an old frame of mindset. There's a healthy way to talk about your baggage, guys. Like, it's just really funny. And that's a realization I had today too, where I was like, you know, the old school way of dating is like, oh, don't talk about your ex, don't talk about this, don't talk about that. It's like, yeah, I understand, don't talk about your ex. Like, that makes a whole lot of sense. But at the same time, it's like, yo, if there's still issues going on with an ex, like, you need to be talking about that, because it's not so much clean cut all the time. But what you have to do is you have to work towards the clean cutness, and the clean cutness can only come from discussing or brainstorming with another person, of one of which you feel comfortable with, and not so much in a burdensome way, but just to be like, yo, let's like expand our lives and our minds and our hearts on how we can kind of better treat the situation instead of suffering in silence. You know, that has been the theme of the day today, is like, one of the themes is like, suffering in silence is there's a thank you, A team. There's an end to that. The card that just popped out for the next one is demand prosperity. And to me, that was like, demand clarity, demand growth. Prosperity is like demand, you know, all like the reveal of all of the bags to just be fucking just, you know, like when during Halloween, when you collect all of the candy, you're excited to come home and just fucking toss all of the candy on the ground. And it's like, just get excited to be like, okay, here's what I got. Toss all of your fucking candy out on the ground so you can kind of see, categorize, you know, handle it better, that type of thing. Like, it's actually the stuff that is about to make your life much sweeter, because you've taken on lessons to be learned, or you learned lessons from them. And that's why baggage is not such a bad thing, because you've learned from them at this point. Okay, they're not something to be ashamed of. It's something to literally do something about and to move forward in. And you can't do that sometimes by yourself, because you're realizing today where you can't work, where you've tried to work on things by yourself and you can't do it by yourself. That's literally what you're realizing today. And that's what the divine feminine is actually helping the divine masculine out with today. And whether or not that's being expressed or whatever, that just needs to be said, is like, you realize that you need help in certain situations, and you can't be doing this release alone, in a sense. Like, you need somebody's help to help you kind of outgrow this shameful type of shit that you've been holding on to for no reason. The energies are potential powers, which just came up. It's so funny. As I'm thinking, like, it's so interesting. The energies have been a little bit heavier, and it's probably because of the release. It's funny, somebody had mentioned that Mercury retrograde had their tongue feel really heavy, and I actually feel like my tone or my speaking is actually really heavy. So it's been a little bit of a heavier energy, and I don't feel even heavy. I feel like it's a pace that's a little slower and heavier. That's how I feel like I'm going through this change. So yeah, so it's like super interesting. So there's a lot of growth being had. Do I show this card right now? All right. Okay. So okay, so that was what basically your ancestors want you to know. All right, your ancestors, your angels, the energy of today. So now we're moving on to the wealth, power, and empowerment aspect of your life. And I'm asking the 18 to please place the highest and best 2 cards at the top of this deck that clearly show us, or clearly represent the yin and yang, having to do with the wealth, power, and empowerment aspect of our lives, as well as how they're playing out with today's authentic, natural, unique, native energies, as well as the universes. Do I stop shuffling the cards right here, right now? All right, excellent. Oh, beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's super big. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Okay, so tomorrow, guys, is the turning point. That is for sure. So when I said that this reading leads into tomorrow's energies, I truly feel that. That's definitely the truth. Let me just grab some water. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yum. I love water. Okay. Okay, so self-confidence comes up as the yin card, which is basically, I'm just putting it over the Emperor Archangel Michael energy as well as the don't stop, okay? So again, your self-confidence was unfurling and unhurling itself out of you today. That's all I gotta say. When you were unstoppable. And so here's what the card says. It says the law of self-confidence becomes an important part of, excuse me, the working equipment of the leader. Wow. And leadership came up in the card too. In the Emperor Archangel Michael card. The number 4. And actually the number 4 is leadership as well, so that's crazy. The chief reason why the follower does not reach decisions is that he lacks the self-confidence to do so. Wow, that's crazy that that just came up, because one of the things that came up today was how I was thinking to myself, I actually love the non-followers. Like I feel like those are my people. Like the people that are non-followers are my people, because they're the ones that I didn't think it had anything to do with self-confidence, but so I'm grateful. I mean, I didn't think about it in that sense. But it's like your self-worth and your self-confidence and your championship in that, okay, is actually shining through on a golden level today. So you literally, this card is emphasizing that you are taking a leadership role in your life. You're basically, you're also making the decision, to more so side with the people who are of self-confidence and who are, what's it called, non-followers. So they're followers of themselves. They're not followers of anybody else, that type of thing. Like that's how confident they are, you know? And so that was actually one of my decisions made, which was so interesting. I was like, I actually don't, because I was thinking about social media today, and I was like, I'm so a leader. I'm not a follower at all, but I do follow people in terms of like, you know, wanting to know what they're up to in their creativity. But I really resonate with the people who are more so leaders you know, in their life and in their mastery and their craft, right? So I love that shit. That those people are my people, you know, that have confidence to kind of show up in you know, in a very courageous way, whether it be if they have a skill or if they have a craft that they work on. Like I resonate with people like that who just literally are their own. They build themselves up. They create their way of life. And again, it's all thanks to self-confidence. So with self-confidence, you're literally like harshly even like just releasing just all of the shit that's been messing with your mindset of a leadership type of mindset, right? Messing with your confidence. It's like, yo, you are just literally just going in there with like Archangel Michael's machete and just saying, enough is enough. We're not doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? So you're putting some sort of boundaries up as you are also like making sure that you're never going back in terms of what you decide to cut off today. You know what I'm saying? So again, this confidence level could be at anything. It could be money. It could be friendships around you. It could be the way that you behave towards others as a hero. You know, that type of shit. It's like you're ending a lot of your bad habits. And you're starting over. You're starting anew. I feel it in my heart. It's like your heart, you're doing this for your heart, and you feel it in your heart that this is now the time to do it, you know? Because you are absolutely wanting to move on. So it's the time to move on, as this Yang card says, and you are doing that in a very powerful and mighty way, which is the next card that comes up in the Wealth and Empowerment reading, which is basically the Napoleon. It's the Think and Grow Rich prosperity cards by Napoleon Hill, or based off of Napoleon Hill's teachings. And I love his that Think and Grow Rich book is amazing. So it says, so the Powerful and Mighty card came up, like I said, and it says powerful and mighty is the human mind. It builds or destroys. And the image on it is a pot of gold. Okay. So what I want to say is, again, I have been channeling that March 17th is going to be a big day. So, and again, from tomorrow into up until the 19th, there's going to be something very mighty going on, and powerful and mighty. And when I see powerful and mighty, I sense the essence of the creator, God. Like, that is total God power right there. So there's something that's really kind of being sent. And I love how this came through, because it's kind of like, all right, we were talking about your ancestors, your angels, your past lives, your soul fam, that type of thing, right? Which is the past type of energy, right? But now it's like, but you've leveled up now, and now you're dealing with the top homie, which is God, right? It's like, so it's like everybody had just, all of your people from the past have now raised you so that you can meet God. You know what I'm saying? That's like a very big, so we have the image of a trophy, and we have the image of a pot of gold, right? So it's just like, holy shit, like you've literally risen up to another level of yourself, of which is going to be absolutely, by the 19th. Sorry, that was my an alert. By the 19th, I feel like there is a reward coming in for all of what you've built, rather than destroyed, but the destroyed also too, right? Because the destroyed takes energy and effort as well. Like, the destruction that I'm seeing here is, again, Archangel Michael's sword coming in and just cutting out what does not need to be there. So again, that takes a mindfulness, that takes an energy, that takes a powerful and mightiness to do, where you're again in a powerful, mighty confidence as well. So it's like your self-confidence has grown into this powerful and mightiness, where it's reached another level of, building, but also building only towards the good, because obviously the image of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow is like, you've done the healing, you've done what you needed to do, and you've done it very right with this trophy. And by March 17th, there's going to be a super beautiful, I just feel like super beautiful golden blessings from above coming in, and from the almighty powerful himself, powerful spirit, almighty powerful spirit himself, the creator. With this card, I also feel like there's been I see not only the pot of gold, but I see like a witch's like brew, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of like a what is it called? Like, where the witches kind of do their I was gonna say, like, what is it called? They're witchy shit, like where they make the like witches brew and witches stew and all that stuff, right? Like they just kind of like, what is it called? I forgot. It's with a C. All right, whatever. But I see as if like, so why did I bring that up? It's like you manifested something. Yeah, so that's what I see. It's like you divinely magically manifested abundance for yourself, okay? In many ways that has built you up in your human mind, that now by, again, between the 13th and the 19th, but also definitely more so on the 17th, there is some beautiful building that's going to happen within your human mind, where it's like either it's like a built up courage or a built up type of like golden type of human mindset, where it's like you reach your apex of yourself. That also could be like the gift, right? That allows you to then kind of see for sure that you've actually really moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you've really, like that really could just be your reward, is like you've moved on by the 17th. That's the reward. You know what I'm saying? But also the reward comes, like the moving on comes with, that's a reward in and of itself, but actually there is another reward that comes with it, which is love. I feel that. I absolutely feel that. I'm seeing the word rich. So again, definitely by March 17th, something's coming in, possibly even monetarily, because we're talking about wealth. So, is that all that we have here, 18? Yeah. Okay, yeah, they're telling me, yeah, you're done. So that's it for tonight, guys. Enjoy your turning point for tomorrow, which is basically a healing and rebalancing of sorts, for you on all different levels. I feel as though the A team is cheering you on. They're excited for this day tomorrow to come up into your world, into your earth world tomorrow. I feel the cheers happening. There's a cheerful effect going on. Should I have read the turning point thing? Oh wait, they're telling me yes. Hold on. I gotta find the card because I started shuffling. Shuffling. Alright, let's see actually if I could. Because it just hit me. I'm like, maybe I should read it. Give me a second, guys. And I'm excited for turning points, baby. I am excited because I really have been fucking just praying. And maybe not even praying, but a lot of worrying has been turned into prayers. So that's what I've been basically doing anytime it comes up. And sometimes I wasn't the best at it, but they also showed me the card discipline. So I guess, yeah, I was disciplined in doing it. That's the best way to put it. Okay. So the turning points is, oh my God, that's why they wanted me to read it, because as I said, there's going to be a monetary type of abundance coming in. Like that was like one of the last things I said for this reading. I turned the car around and there's like absolutely money like flying all over the place freely. So that's so interesting. So you might even kind of reach financial security and financial stability is what I'm hearing, but also financial freedom by the 17th, okay? This definitely could be the case, which is, again, that's the other type of reward that I was feeling. So it says the turning point in the lives of those who succeed usually comes at the moment of some crisis through which they are introduced to their other selves. Holy fuck, guys. That's all I gotta say. The other selves could be a romantic counterpart. So again, this could be all three or all four things. You know what I'm sensing actually is that it really could be wow, there's so many blessings coming in on March 17th. That's all I gotta say. It's like divine counterpart moment meetings. Then you're feeling powerful and mighty. You're feeling like a cauldron is what I was looking for before. Sorry, as a word. You're feeling as if you've manifested. You know, you're a powerful and mighty human mind. Your mind is of a golden mindset. You've manifested in terms of like being like a little witch and creating and stirring the pot in a good way, in terms of creating and just kind of just, yeah, brewing up, like stewing up, like building up, right? Basically whatever your witchy self wanted, okay? Which is, we're all little witches, because whenever we want something, that's kind of like manifestations, right? And then this card is saying turning point. Again, this is people for really good karma, because it actually is talking about the turning point in the lives of those who succeed. So that's really good karma. People with really good karma, which I resonate with. Usually comes the moment of some crisis. Also, what we've been going through is this some sort of crisis, which could be all of what we just talked about tonight, which is like, you know, having to change things up for ourselves in a powerful and mighty way. Because this crisis has kind of been taking over our lives, which has been super full on fucking annoying. Also could have a lot to do with money, okay? Or our insecurities, or any like self, what's the opposite of self-confidence? That is what I'm talking about. Like any type of self, like destruction is what I want to say. If that was the crisis you've been going through, you're actually absolutely coming out of it by the 19th, okay, of this month, but definitely around the 17th. And then it says through which they are introduced to their other selves, which is a bigger and better you, again, improving health, and also your other selves, as in your divine romantic relationship partnership type thing, you know? What I'm getting also is that this is going to be a surprise, and you get both the yin and the yang. Like you have golden coins, again, that fill up the cauldron or the pot of gold, which, you know, I really love the idea of blending a witch's cauldron and like I have to see what that is, because it's like a witch's cauldron looks exactly like a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, okay? So it's like, I love the blend of that, like leprechauns and witches, okay? Like that is so good. And good witches, by the way. I don't do that bad shit witchcraft shit. It's like I don't even do the whitecraft shit, but somehow I feel like sometimes when we wish with our heart so strongly, it ends up becoming a little witchcrafty in the white witchy type of way, in a good witch type of way. Oh, I like this. Good witch, grow rich. That's what they just, oh my god, that's hilarious. So yeah, good witches grow rich. All right, that's beautiful. They made me see that. I'm like, wow, that rhymes. So crazy. So yeah, so good witches grow rich. That's happening by the 19th. Okay, so again, those who have really good, this is only for those who have really good karma, like who have really done as much as they possibly could for themselves, for other people, reaching this apex, and they're doing really good for themselves, even though right now you might be amongst a little bit of a crisis, but you're gonna get through it, because we're fucking deserving and nothing less of it. So there you go, guys. That was your reading. I love you so much, and I know you're gonna have a great day tomorrow, so just enjoy it, and make sure to rebalance. I don't know if I'm gonna be on tomorrow. I feel like I'm really taking a full day off tomorrow. So let me see what just came. Oh, that's beautiful. Do I share that? Okay. So yeah, just make sure to focus on loving yourself tomorrow, and just kind of, again, figuring out different creative ways to keep yourself moving on in the right moving on direction. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, take it easy, guys.